Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ross again. We are in part 2 of our series, In My Feelings. In part 1 of this series, we did share the story of Mark chapter 5. There's a woman with the issue of blood. She has internal bleeding, stuff that's going on the inside that no one else sees. It's kind of a crazy story. She has this thought, if I could just touch the hem of Jesus' garment, I could be healed. Starts with a thought, it leads her to action, and she actually does become healed. But what's interesting is that story is a story inside of an even bigger story. What's really going on in Mark chapter 5, how it all starts out, is that there's a man named Jairus who has a big problem. His daughter is dying, and he wants Jesus to help. Jesus is on his way to go see Jairus' daughter, and on the way, he encounters the woman with the issue of blood. She gets healed, but in the meantime, because it took so much time, Jairus' daughter dies. We find this out in Mark chapter 5, verse 35. Jairus' friends come to Jairus and say, your daughter has passed away. She has died. And then they ask Jairus this question, why bother Jesus now? Why bother? Have you ever had that thought before? You've been going through so much in 2020, maybe. You've been going through so much heartache, and you're thinking to yourself, I've tried this Christian thing for a while. I've been trying to get Jesus to come and help me. Why bother now? I'm here to tell you, this story is for you today. Jesus still wants to be bothered. Jesus goes to the house where Jairus' daughter has now died. And when he gets there, people are wailing. The Bible says that they're crying, they're upset. I can imagine how frustrated Jairus has to be, and the thoughts that are going on in his mind, the feelings that are on the inside of him as he sees his daughter there as she has died. Jesus does something really interesting though. When he gets there, he only takes a few people with him, and when he gets to the house, he sends everyone in the house out, except for him, a few disciples, and Jairus himself. I think it's really interesting that Jesus does this because I think that Jesus wanted to get all the negative thoughts out of the room. I think that Jesus understood a very important concept that I want you and I to figure out today, and it's this, that you'll catch what you're close to. You'll catch what you're close to. Come on, we're in a season right now where everybody's like, hey, stay away if you got any signs that you could be sick. Why? Because you can catch it if you're close to it. It's the same thing with our negative thought life, friends. How many of us, we have people in our lives that we surround ourselves with and we're catching their thoughts? Many of us, we have friends in our lives. We wouldn't have some of the thoughts that we have if we did not have them in our lives. Here's a question to ask yourself. Whose thoughts are you making your thoughts? Whose thoughts are you making your thoughts? The Bible says this, today's trouble is enough for today. Today's trouble is enough for today. What ends up happening is Jesus sends everyone out because he realizes, Jairus, man, today, what you're going through right now is enough for today. You don't need all this negativity in your life. So he sends everybody out, and Jesus heals his daughter. She is raised from the dead. But notice the miracle only happens when the negative thoughts go out. When the negative thoughts go out. Why? Because it's easy to catch what you're close to. For some of us today, we're a little bit too close to people who are not putting joy and peace and patience in our lives. But instead, they're giving us worry, doubt, fear, and anxiety. What do you and I need to do about that? We need to get rid of those negative thoughts. So what do we need to do? Maybe some of us, it looks like deleting some contacts in your phone. For some of us, maybe it looks like unfollowing some people that you need to unfollow. Maybe there are some friends in your life, some influences in your life that are influencing you to have a negative thought life. What do we do in those moments? It's very easy, friends. We do exactly what Jesus did. We send them out so that the peace of God can enter in. You catch what you're close to. Let's get close to Jesus, because when we get close to Jesus, we catch faith, hope, love, self-control, sound mind, power. In fact, that's what the Bible says, that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind.